Hello everyone, welcome to JRM Pediatrics. This is one of the first videos of the vaccine series. Now, in this video, we'll be only focusing on the NIS versus the IAP schedule. Okay, let's begin with the NIS schedule. I'll write it separately and try to point out the differences as well. Now, first I'll write the age, what vaccines we give at that age, and if any extra points related to those vaccines like dose, site or route of those vaccines. Okay, now let's begin with first birth. Now at birth we have to give BCG vaccine. BCG vaccine needs to be given as early as possible. However, the catch-up can be done till 1 year of age. The dose is 0.1 ml. So, if the child is more than 1 month. However, if the child is less than 1 month, then 0.05 ml. The route is intradermal and it is given in left upper arm. The next vaccine is hepatitis B birth dose. Now again it is given as early as possible or max within 24 hours of birth. The dose is 0.5 ml, intramuscular, anterolateral, mid-thigh it is given. The next is OPV birth dose. Again, this is given as early as possible or max within 15 days. This is an oral vaccine given 2 drops. Next we have it 6, 10 and 14 weeks. Now the vaccine I am going to talk about, they have like 3 doses. First dose given at 6, second at 10 and third at 14 weeks. Now the first is pentavalent. Now what does pentavalent vaccine have? 1, 2 and 3 doses. It constitutes of DPT, Hep B and HIP vaccine. Okay. Now again this is 0.5 ml, intramuscular and anterolateral, mid-thigh. The next we have is OPV 1, 2 and 3. This is oral vaccine, 2 drops. We have rotavirus rotavirus vaccine. We have 1, 2 and 3. Again this is a oral vaccine. Now the dose can depend. If it is a liquid vaccine then 5 drops. If it is a lyophilized vaccine then 2.5 ml. Now here, apart from these 3 vaccines, there are 2 additional vaccines, but they are given only at 6 and 14 weeks. So I am writing it separately. They are PCV 1 and 2. First dose given at 6, second at 14 weeks. 0.5 ml IM given in anterolateral side of mid-thigh. Second is fractionated IPV. Again 1 and 2 dose at 6 and 14 weeks. It is 0.1 ml intradermal. It is given in right upper arm. The BCG intradermal was given on left upper arm, and now fractionated IPV intradermal is given on right upper arm. Now next we'll move to 9 to 12 months. During this age period, the first vaccine we give is MR1. It is 0.5 ml subcutaneous, given in right upper arm. The second vaccine is J1. Again 0.5 ml. Now this can be subcutaneous or IM, depending on whether it is live vaccine or a killed vaccine. Now if it is subcutaneous, on right side we have already given MR, so we have to give it in left upper arm, and IM is anterolateral mid-thigh. Now here we have another, not vaccine, but oral vitamin A supplementation starts. So vitamin A is given 1 ml, which contains 1 lakh international units. Now the first dose is 1 ml. However, subsequently the dose is increased to 2 ml, which is 2 lakh international units, given every 6 months after this first dose till 5 years of age. Total there are 9 doses of vitamin A, including the first dose. Okay. Now in 9 to 12 months we have two important boosters here now. First is PCV booster, again 0.5 ml IM, and second is fractionated IPV booster, 0.1 ml ID. Now coming to the next age group, we have 16 to 24 months. Now here we give DPT booster 1, same 0.5 ml IM, and now another booster is OPV booster. This is 2 drops oral. Along with this we have 2 second doses of vaccine. At 9 months we give MR and JE. Now we have second doses of those vaccines, MR2 and JE2. Again the dose is same, 0.5 ml subcutaneous. This is 0.5 ml. It can be subcutaneous or IM, depending on what we are giving, live or killed. Now after this, the next stage is 5 to 6 years. Here we give DPT booster 2. And then at 10 years and 16 years, we give TD, 0.5 ml IM. Now here this is also 0.5 ml IM. To remember that now that the child has grown, we can give IM in upper arm as well. Now this is for children. Now NIS schedule also has another aspect, that is tetanus vaccine in or TD vaccine in pregnancy. I'll mention that here as well. So in pregnant female, we give TD1 early in pregnancy. The dose is same, 0.5 ml IM in upper arm. 4 weeks later, we give TD2. Now supposedly, if the patient has received two TD doses in previous pregnancy within 3 years. Okay. This 3 years is important. Within 3 years, then we have to give just the TD booster. This is it for the NIS schedule. Next we'll move on to the IAP schedule. We have to remember something here, that the NIS schedule targets the population of the country. It is given by the government. It is cost effective yet helps in protection, herd immunization to a population. But IAP schedule caters to each and every individual child. It has nothing to do with the population. It is about what vaccine your child needs. That's it. Now let us come to the schedule. First is at birth. Birth we have BCG, should be given before the patient gets discharged. OPV given as soon as possible after birth, and Hep B1. There it was the birth dose in NIS, here it is Hep B1, which is administered within 24 hours of birth. Now next, coming to 6 weeks, 10 weeks and 14 weeks. Like how we learned there are 3 doses given at 6, 10 and 14 weeks in NIS. Here is also there are 3 doses given in 6, 10 and 14 weeks. I'll first write the common ones. We have DPT1, DPT2 and DPT3. Next we have HIB1, HIB2, HIB3. Now here the hepatitis B, it becomes 2, 3 and 4. Now these are common. Also rota. 1, 2, 3. Now the additional ones are, here PCV has 3 doses. Write it below. I'm writing it for 6, 10 and 14 weeks together. We have PCV 1, 2 and 3. In NIS we had only PCV 1 and 2 at 6 weeks and 14 weeks. Here there are 3 doses. And we also have IPV 1, 2 and 3. In NIS we had fractionated IPV. This IPV is given IM. In NIS we had fractionated IPV intradermally at 6 and 14 weeks. Now this DPT, HIB, Hep B and IPV together comprises of hexavalent vaccines. So DPT, Hep B, HIB and IPV. Now supposedly the hexavalent vaccines can be costly. If a patient cannot afford, then you give the pentavalent vaccine at 6, 10 and 14 weeks and send the patient to a government institution to get the fractionated IPV at 6 and 14 weeks and then the booster at 9 months. Okay. Now next we come to 6 months. In 6 months we have inactivated influenza vaccine. Short form is IAV. Now at 7 months, 1 month apart, we have the second dose of influenza vaccine. Now the influenza vaccine is first given at 6 months, then 1 month apart, that is at 7 months. Subsequently, the influenza vaccine is given every year. Subsequently, repeated every year before monsoon till 5 years of age. The next vaccine is In between 6 to 9 months, we have to give TCV, typhoid conjugated vaccine. It's a single dose. There is no booster or anything to this. Then at 9 months, we have MMR1. In NIS schedule, we had MR1. Here it is MMR1. Then at 12 months, we have hepatitis A vaccine. Now, hepatitis A vaccine can be single dose if it is a live vaccine. If live vaccine, then only one dose at 12 months. However, if it is a killed vaccine, then first dose at 12 months, second dose at 18 months, that is 6 months later. Then we have at 15 months, we have MMR2 and varicella first dose, and another booster is here, that is PCV booster. If you remember, in NIS we had PCV at 6 weeks, 14 weeks, PCV 1 and 2, and booster at 9 months. Here we have PCV 1, 2, 3 at 6, 10, 14 weeks and booster at 15 months. And at 16 to 18 months, we have to remember that in NIS this age range was 16 to 24 months, but in IAP it is 16 to 18 months. We have DPT booster 1 and HIP booster 1 and IPV booster 1. Then at 18 to 19 months, we give varicella first dose at 15 months, then 3 months later we have to give varicella second dose. And if we had given killed hepatitis A vaccine at 12 months, here we would have killed Hep A second dose. Then at 4 to 6 years we have DPT booster 2. So let me put a comparison between NIS and IAP here. In NIS we had DPT 1, 2, 3 at 6, 10, 14. In 16 to 24 months, here we had DPT booster 1, and 5 to 6 years we had DPT booster 2. It is kind of similar to IAP schedule also, only we have to remember here the age range is 16 to 18 months. Now 4 to 6 years we have DPT booster 2, IPV booster 2 and MMR third dose. Now in NIS we had OPV 1, 2, 3 along with the birth dose, and we gave a OPV booster at 16 to 24 months. There was no booster after that. But in IAP we have IPV 1, 2 and 3. Then we have a booster at 16 to 18 months, and in 4 to 6 years we have the second IPV booster. Similarly, in NIS for MR, we had MR1 at 9 months, then MR2 at 16 to 24 months. However, in IAP, we have MMR 1 at 9 months, 2 at 15 months and 3 at 4 to 6 years. So, 3 doses of MMR here. Then at 9 to 14 years, we have HPV vaccine. In between 9 to 14 years, it is always 2 doses, that is 0 to 6 months. 0 and 6 months. And then at 10 year we have Tdap vaccine. Then 15 to 18 years, once the child is more than equal to 15 years, the HPV vaccine becomes 3 doses. Now it can be either Cervarix or Gardasil. Cervarix is given 0, 1 and 6 months. Gardasil is 0, 2 and 6 months. I have a way of remembering this. Cervarix, if you remember, has 2 HPV strains. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 0, 1, 6 months. Gardasil, if you remember, has 4 HPV strains. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 0 to 6 months. This works for me. I don't know if it will work for you. Then at 16 to 18 years, finally, we have another dose of TD. Okay. Now I'll tell you about a few updates that were updated by the IAP and ACVIP in 2023. The first update. Now supposedly a patient has received fractionated IPV in government institution at 6 weeks, 14 weeks, and then the booster at 9 months. And this patient comes to you in this after, say suppose after 1 year the patient has decided that they want to get vaccine via IAP schedule. Now the new guidelines suggest that if the patient has received fractionated IPV 3 doses, that is at 6 week, 14 week and 9 months, then there is no need of IPV booster 1 at 16 to 18 months. This patient can directly get the IPV booster 2 only. That is only IPV booster at 4 to 6 years if fractionated IPV given at 6 weeks, 14 weeks and 9 months. So if they have received, we don't need to give this IPV booster at 16 to 18 months. Now the second update was HPV. There is a new vaccine, nonavalent or 9-valent HPV, which is gender non-specific. That is, earlier it was that only female could receive this vaccine, Cervarix and Gardasil, but nonavalent HPV is both for male and female now. The dose is same, 0 and 6 months. Beyond 14 years, the nonavalent is not yet approved. For that is more than equal to 15 years boys, they don't have any, they cannot take nonavalent vaccine as of now. So this 9-valent vaccine can be given to even to boys between 9 to 14 years. Now the third change was, earlier at 10 years the child used to get a Tdap. Then it was recommended that the child was supposed to get a decennial vaccine of TD, that is every 10 years. But now this has been scratched off. The patient now has to get at 16 to 18 years 1 dose of TD followed by decennial TD. Okay. And this is it for the IAP schedule as well. I hope I was able to distinguish between both the schedules well and able to give you a concise point of view of both the schedules. In further videos of the vaccine series, I'll try to put forward a few points about individual vaccines. That is it for this video. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.